shall we begin? Let's begin.
Let's get this thing in the water.
Let's begin.
Hello, and welcome to On the Patio with Mr. D. Hey, today we are going to do a second part of something that is very exciting from Advanced Elements, their new Airvolution. Now today, I'm going to be doing the setup and tear down and field testing and all that kind of stuff, the full-blown full video. As you know, I did the sneak peek video for Advanced Elements, and it came out awesome. But being this is a pre-production unit, there's a lot of things in flux. So I got more information yesterday on a length correction and a weight correction, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Now, the Airvolution is 13 feet long. That's the solo unit. And they also going to be offering a tandem unit. But the solo unit is 13 feet long, and its weight is 39 pounds, not 32 pounds. And that's with the seat and everything installed and all that kind of stuff like that. Now, some of the final production changes they shared with me yesterday, you can see here that the air valves are going to have molded in instructions and stuff like that, and they'll look like that. Currently, they look like this. Also, the end caps, as you can see here, on the pre-production unit are black. And on the final production unit, it's going to be blue, as you can see up here. So that's one of the big changes. Also the handles. This is the current handle right here, and they've modified the handle to make it more comfortable and more stronger, and it'll look like that. So they're still making a lot of changes in this thing. Some of the blues are going to be a little more subtle in the craft, and I'm really excited for them. I tell you, this boat don't tip. I sat on the lake the other day, and one of the first things I do with any kayak that I start reviewing is to check out its tip point. And I was rocking this thing like a crazy man, and it was stable. I mean, extremely stable. I was so impressed with this particular craft. The tracking is awesome, and it has a removable fin, and it measures out at about 8.5, but it curves. They'll probably call it a 9-inch fin. So your launching procedures, if you're like me, I like to launch with the nose out. And with my other Advanced Element kayaks, they have a 3-inch fin on it. This is a 9-inch fin. So if you're going to launch, you have to do it kind of backwards. You're going to launch the tail end first, get into the deeper water, then step into the craft and do your thing. Now, getting in and getting out of this craft is extremely easy. I was so impressed. I even stood up in this thing. It was phenomenal. How well balanced it is, how well it tracks, just everything about it. And also, one of the changes they were telling me about the other day, the duffel bag that I got, and it has wheels on it, guys. It has wheels on it. It's totally cool. But it doesn't have their logos and stuff like that. And the pump has been redesigned a little bit to, I guess, make it a little shorter, but it still has the same functionality and the gauge and everything like that. So quickly, I want to talk about the pump. This pump comes with the craft, of course, and it is what they call a fast system switch valve dual action system. Now, this little thing up here is the actual switch. And we're going to walk through that real quick. First of all, it has only one fitting, because that's all you're going to need with this kayak is a high pressure fitting, and it just screws on here to here. 2 ports here, one for inflation, one for deflation. Now I want to walk you through the process here on how this particular pump works. With this valve in its closed position, this is a high capacity dual action pump. So what you do is, with the switch in the closed position, and that's right here, you get most of your inflation done. Now once you get ready to do your a high pressure fill, then you remove this switch like that and go ahead and finish pumping, and then watching your gauge, of course, for the proper inflation. As you can see, the gauge is broken down into a gray area and a black area. Now the gray area is the bar measurements, and then the black area is the PSI. Now again, this thing is inflatable from 12 to 14 pounds. Do not exceed that 14-pound limit. So I guess they're doing some changes on the pump. I guess it's going, like I said, it's going to be a little shorter, and then have all their branding on it. On the duffel bag, there's no branding on the one I have, but this one will be all branded out. I've already done the field test, guys, and I folded this thing up. At first, I thought, wow, how in the heck am I going to fold this thing up? It's actually pretty easy. I'll be going through the fold up and put away in the bag, and it fit in the bag with the pump and the fin and the seat. There was no problems at all with that. So I'm really excited for that. Now, talk about price point. I found out yesterday the final price point for the solo unit, which is the one I have. It is $10.99. And for the tandem unit, it's going to be priced out at $12.99. And currently you can only purchase this through airkayaks.com. I've got to tell you, now I own a Hobie, we have a Hurricane, I have 4 other Advanced Elements kayaks. I have the Sport, the 1044, the Elite, and the Convertible. And out of all of them, this one, I mean, we're talking hard kayaks, my inflatable kayaks. In fact, any kayak I've ever paddled. This is bar none the best I have ever paddled in. This thing is phenomenal. I did an in-place 360. You'll see that in the video. I just spun that thing around and like it was nothing. I like the slight curvature of the hull, so it's not plowing into the wakes and stuff like that, which is really an excellent design idea. Now, they even have a drain hole in the center of this thing. I didn't know what that was when I first got it. It was kind of funny. I thought it was an air release valve. Duh. But it turned out to be as you inflate it, the cup will expand down like that, and then there's a plug here. And that's to release any water in the craft, just like a boat. You pull out a drain plug. But you unscrew that, and any water that's collected collects in that cup and then just drops out. The bottom of the craft is, you can see here up in this video, I took my chasing dory out the other day when I had the Airvolution in the pool, and I wanted to get a shot of the stance of the hull and the fin, and as you can see here, this will give you an idea where the drain plug is and the contact points of the hull, and then the fin coming down and doing its thing. Some of the design elements of this particular craft, as far as the design, beautification, and functionality, they smacked this one right out the park. They've got forward and aft rigging on it with metal D-rings, really, really well done. It has a removable fin, and the handles, as I'm looking at now with the new picture that I've received from Advanced Elements, they've redesigned the handle to be more durable and stronger and actually aesthetically more pleasing. There's nothing more I can say about this, guys. This craft is absolutely phenomenal. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to go ahead and do the setup and tear down and walk you through the inflation procedures and how to fold it and all that kind of good stuff. So hey, be back in a bit. So let's get this thing inflated. I really like the, they call it a duffel. It's got the wheels on it here. It's really, really cool. And you get your seat. Of course, your pump. And all of this stuff sets inside. And somewhere there is the fin right here I was talking about earlier. And then they have webbing straps with buckles that kind of hold this in place. So you just undo those and basically take the kayak out of the bag. Well, hey guys, we are going to go ahead and start the inflation process. Now right here is that drain hole I was talking about. This is on the bottom of the boat. But this here you can use to go ahead and drain out any excess water in the hull. And then you just unfold this. So you can see this is actually pretty simple to do. Okay. So your two spring valves. This is for the body of the kayak right here, and this is for the floor section. Make sure your valves are up. Just reach down, twist counterclockwise, and it'll pop right up. Same thing with the body one. Now you see how this is lifted right here? This will inflate and drop down. This is where it collects the water. I'll show you that once we get the craft inflated. Now y'all heard me talking about the pump. I'm going to put it in the dual action mode right here, and that's with the valve, or what they call the switch. And then when I switch out for the heavy inflation part, then I'll just drop it like that. And here we go. Switch it over for the high pressure. Just take the plug out. And there you go. This part's done. Just twist it counterclockwise and put the cap on. And the floor is done. Now the same process for inflating the main body. Once we reach that point, again, just pull out the switch and finish your inflation. Get it up to, remember, 12 to 14 psi, and that's it. Once you've got the proper pressure, take it out and put the cap back on, lock it into place. The seat here has 4 connections, and you can see I have it bundled because it's preset for me. But I'm going to show you how it goes in. First of all, I want to talk to you about the water collection area. I want to show you the drain hole system here. And you can see as it inflated, that cup dropped down below. And basically, when you have water that collected in here, you unscrew this, and there you go. It's open, and it'll drain all that water out. And then just re-secure it. Okay, another thing I want to talk about real quick. These have pressure relief valves in it, so if you get into a situation where it's starting to overinflate and you're not watching your gauge or whatever the case may be, the pressure relief valves on the floor and on the main body valve will operate and keep you from blowing this up. But just watch your pressures really, really close. So what we're going to do now is install the seat. Now, like I said, there's 4 points. What you want to do first is connect the front with the clip like that and like that. Then pull it back. And then make your adjustments. And it has a ladder system right here to where you can make your adjustments. 2-way adjustment points like this. And then just make the adjustments as required to get you where you're comfortable. Then the same thing with the back. It has 2 ladder connections also. Now, like I said, I've already connected this up for me. Okay, so that's a seat adjustment for me, and it really, really works well. It's very comfortable. Don't mind the water spots on there, guys. This is Florida, and the heat index for today is going to be 110. So that's just me sweating on the seat. So, once you get down to your location, it's time to put the fin in. It's a relatively simple process. You load it from the front, you'll see the slots. Insert it, and then just take your clip, insert it like that, and you're all set to go. To take the fin out, just depress this tag and pull out the keeper, pull it, and you're all set. Well, hey guys, what we're going to do now is deflate the kayak, and I'll go ahead and show you how to fold it. Of course, you take your fin off and then take your seat, disconnect your seat, and then just set it off to the side for now. All right, undo your caps here, counterclockwise and counterclockwise. Now, I recommend that you use the deflate portion of the pump, because there's a lot of air in here, but you can push it out manual. And I've actually started using that process. What I'll do is partially fold the boat and then push air to the valves. But you can use either process that you want. Then you want to collapse this right here, the drain plug cup, like that. And then what I do is I take the boat and kind of just do a quick, and this ain't the way it's folded, but it's just to push out air. But again, you can use the pump in the deflate mode. Now, to fold this, it's really not that hard. The first thing you do is you take the nose and flip it to the side like that. Okay? Then take one section to where it's even, and do that. Now, you're going to do basically the same thing at the other end, but let me show you how this folds. Now, I want to have it to where it's even right here and here. So I use this one as a guide. And here I go. You can see that fold took shape. I'm going to pull it down. Do it again. And at the same time, I'm putting pressure, making sure any air is expelled. Now I'm going to go to the nose and do the same thing. Now you see how I positioned the bow of the boat? That way this can fold up over the top, just like that. Now go get your bag. Now this part's really pretty simple. You just got to tuck it in there. So what I do is I pick it up and insert it and then move it down. All right, take those straps that we talked about earlier, and I'm going to cinch it up. Now I kind of push everything to one side like this so I can get the pump and stuff in. Put in the seat. All packed up, ready to go on its next adventure. Well, hey guys, we are going to wrap this thing up. And I'll tell you, I've had a blast doing this review, and doing the sneak peek video, and want to thank Advanced Elements for the honor of being able to test this thing out in a pre-production state. All of their final production changes that are coming real soon are going to make this boat just totally awesome. Now, it's totally awesome already. Most of its aesthetics, they want to make sure that all the proper labeling is there, the blue end cap changes, the handle changes, stuff that we talked about earlier. But I'll tell you what, it's like I said before, this is probably the best kayak I have ever paddled, bar none. I mean, that includes hard kayaks, my Hobie, all that kind of stuff. This thing's a lot of fun. It's light. I'm 70 years old. I threw that thing on my shoulder and just did my thing. Walked on down to the launch site. I carried it back from the launch site and out to my truck. All that kind of stuff. It was just phenomenal. What a fun unit. And the price point at $10.99 for this 13-foot, 39-pound high-pressure drop stitch technology kayak, bar none, is probably going to revolutionize the entire market. It's stable. I can't believe how stable it is. It's kind of a, in my words, it's kind of a hybrid sit on top, sit in. And I just love the way they did the cockpit layout and how it protects part of you in there. And I'm short, so I could almost lock my knees out inside the cockpit of that thing. It was just totally awesome. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to again thank Advanced Elements for giving me this opportunity. We'll see you on the next one. Well, guys, I'm ready for my next adventure. Come join me.